Hey guys, Jason again with Jtrain Fitness here to give you another video blog post this week on leg training tips. Now I think there are two types of people in this world, people who hate working out legs and the people who lie about how much they hate working out legs. It's just not a muscle group that a lot of people like to work out, and I know there are going to be some people who look at this video and say, oh, I like working out legs, I like doing squats all the time and blah blah blah, and that's fine, that's good for you, but I think that I'm speaking for most people when I say that a lot of people don't like working out legs, and it's not that popular of a muscle group to work out. And I think there are two reasons for that. I think one reason is your legs are so huge and they're such a big muscle, so they require a lot of energy when they're being worked out. And so when you do a leg workout, your whole body, you feel really exhausted really quickly when you're doing an intense leg workout. Also, I think that for guys, when they walk into like a place like a restaurant or anything like that, I don't necessarily think that girls and other people are saying like, oh dang, look at how awesome his legs look. Those are some great looking legs. At least that's what I think. That's what I'm assuming. And so when people think about that, it's kind of hard to say like, why would I spend so much energy working out a muscle group that not a lot of people are going to necessarily appreciate. And so that's why I think that legs aren't exactly popular. Also, I mean, when you're in the gym and you're working out legs, all of your blood's going to your legs, so it's not going to your upper body, and so you don't look imposing, you don't look big, you don't get a pump. It's not that fun. But you have to work out legs, and the reason for that, one video that I saw that made a lot of sense to me is like since your legs are so big, when you work them out, when you stress them out, when you damage them through weight training, there's going to be a lot of release of hormones that are beneficial to bodybuilding, like growth hormone, and that might triculate through the rest of your body and help other muscle groups grow. Also, is very important. You do want to have a very even aesthetic. I mean, it does look kind of weird when somebody's like super top heavy and then in the bottom you see like these stick legs and you're just like, oh, that doesn't really look appealing to my eyes, So working out legs is important. You also want leg strength if you're playing sports, if you're just stability, so that you don't get injured that quickly. But what kind of tips would I give someone working out legs? Well, everyone in my gym is a comedian. They like to come up to me and say, hey Jason, where are your legs? And I go, ha 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 ha, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, like when I first started bodybuilding, I was like everyone else. I hated working out legs, so I never really worked them out until I guess a year and a half ago. I really started, making them an everyday thing. But I would put them like as kind of like a side note with other exercises while I worked out, muscle groups that I enjoyed working out a lot more. So they're not exactly developed. But recently, I've had I've experienced some things, and I've come up with some advice that I think that would be beneficial for someone trying to work out legs. So let's discuss some of that. When I work out legs, and when you're working out legs, it's important to work the quads. I work the quads, the hamstrings, and the calves. Now, everyone wants to do squats on leg day, and everyone thinks that squats are like the exercise on leg day. And I'm about to, I guess, piss off a lot of people or something like that, especially the gym bros who want to like squat all day, every day for eternity, who think that it's like the best exercise ever. And I get a lot of criticism for being not against, but I don't do any of the three big bodybuilding exercises: your squats, your bench press, and deadlifts. Now, I've talked about why I don't like, bench press, but I don't like squats for a very different reason. I actually do think squats are very useful, and if you know how to do them effectively, congratulations. That's a fantastic exercise to do, and you'll grow on it. But any exercise where I have to worry more about the form than the actual lift, like if I'm squatting and I have to be like, oh, are my arms right, or are my hips pointed right, am I loading my back correctly, like the whole time, to me it's not worth it. And also when you squat, one little thing can completely injure you and completely take you out of the gym. I've talked to so many people who were lifting for years and quit because squats blew out their back. I know a guy who used to squat like 3 times a week, and now he can't sit for more than 20 minutes at a time without having severe back pain. And to me, it's like, is that worth it? It's a fantastic compound exercise. Yes, it works a lot of your body, but to me, like, you don't have to do squats to work those other parts of your body. If you have a complete workout plan where you're hitting all of your muscle groups effectively, then you're fine. You don't necessarily have to see squats. And so what I do instead of squatting is I'll do exercises that hit every part of my leg just as effectively as doing one squat routine. So I'll focus on quads, my hamstrings, and my calves. I'm more heavy on my quads just because they're big and everything, and that's like the dominant part of the leg, I guess. But I'll do lunges, leg press, and leg extension for my quads. And then for my hamstrings, I'll do a hamstring curl, and then for calves, I'll just do like a leg press calf raise. But things you need to keep in mind when you're working out legs, if you're working out your quads, one thing that's really helped for me is like driving through your heel. So you'll feel your quads activate when you're doing like a press or a lunge or a leg extension. But on leg exercises where you press, I've found that when you put all of your weight on your heel and you drive with your heel, it activates the quads like that much more, and it really just loads up the quad. For your calves, anything under the knee, I found that like if this is your foot, if you're driving with the ball of your foot, it works more of your calves. So when you're doing a calf exercise, get a full stretch in your foot, as if you're trying to bring your toes towards your shin, and then drive up through the balls of your foot. And then when you're doing hamstring curls, think of your hamstring think of the back of your quad as like a bicep. When you're doing the hamstring curl, it's almost like a bicep curl if you thought of your legs as a bicep, coming all the way up, squeezing the back of your quad as much as possible, and then letting it down slowly. That helps for effective growth behind your quad. Also, legs are weird because like they have to support the whole top of your body, right? They're a huge muscle group for a reason, because they're constantly under stress and tension, so they're built strong. I think a lot of people have trouble growing legs because of that, because they think that the kind of stress and stimulus that they put on their biceps, their triceps, shoulders, chest, back, all that stuff is the same for legs, and it might not be, because your legs are huge and they're used to doing a lot more weight than the rest of your body. And muscles don't just grow because you're lifting weight. They grow when they feel like there's a stress put on them consistently that they can't handle. It's like if you were in a classroom and you could get an A without doing the homework or taking any of the tests. Would you ever do any of the homework, and would you ever take any of the tests? Probably not. Your body takes a lot of energy and a lot of resources to build muscle, and it won't do it if it doesn't need to. So my suggestion when you're doing legs is to do a lot of weight and to do as much weight as you can through a pretty high rep range. I mean, like 8 to 15. If you can do 15, you probably need to step up the weight a little bit. That's my suggestion. Also, to get a lot of stimulation and stress on your legs, try doing legs one at a time. When I'm doing leg extension and press exercises like lunges and leg press, I'll do one leg at a time, then two, and then maybe drop set it. And that has helped grow my legs recently, and I've seen success with that. And that's pretty much it for like the weight you would do. What's very, very, very important for legs is injury as well. In my shoulder video, I discussed like that your shoulder has a lot of mobility, and so it's very open to injury. The same thing goes for your knee. Your knee is very, very flexible, and it can move around, and so it's very susceptible to getting injured. So you have to be very aware of how your knee works when you're lifting. Now, what I've noticed from people is like some people's shins bow out, some people like go one way. Their foot might angle off one way as their kneecap goes like this way, and that puts a lot of weird, awkward torque on your knee, and then before you know it, you're out of the gym you can't do leg exercises or activity for a long time. And so what I would suggest is before you lift any weight with legs, see how your legs move. See how you move at the kneecap and all that stuff. And do the lift like you should, like how I just discussed. Do it effectively. Do it to where you're getting proper stimulation, but also angle yourself as much as you can to where you're doing your natural, the natural line of drive that your direction that your knee is going. And it might be different for each person. I think it is different for each person. So be cognizant of that. Finally, I think that one suggestion I'd give you is also when you're doing leg extensions and when you're doing hamstring curls, if you point your foot out, that'll also work out the calf. So you can get like a compound exercise in one of those exercises. And that's pretty much all I can think of right now for tips for legs. If you have another question that I didn't address, hit me in the comment section or anything like that. Or if you have any other suggestions, advice, shoot me a comment. Like the video if you liked it. Maybe subscribe to my channel. That'd be great. Alright guys, have a fantastic day. Hope these tips helped, and good luck on growing your legs. Alright, take care.